If you are running Facebook ads, this video over here and Apple iOS 14, the changes that just happened about a week plus ago, I had no idea it would have that much impact on my campaigns. Over the last 2 weeks, I can tell you that there are some campaigns that I have been running for years that was profitable, and literally within a week, they're no longer profitable. There are some campaigns that you're gonna see that was retargeting campaigns that gave me a 20x ROI, and within a week, everything dropped by 4 to 5 times. By the end of this video, if you stay till the end, you're gonna understand what are some of the key things that you need to be doing right now, because chances are you are probably bleeding money and you don't even know it. So if you're running Facebook ads, if you have the intention to run Facebook ads, understanding what the Apple iOS 14 update is all about and how it impacts you and what it is that you need to be doing in order to combat these changes is going to be absolutely crucial. Hey everybody, this is Peng Joon here, and if you love money and if you love making money online, you want to consider smashing the like button. It does help this channel out a little bit, and consider subscribing to the channel if you want to be updated when it comes to the latest strategies as well as tactics to all ways, all methods when it comes to making money online. So right now, here's the thing. Taking a look at the data of the last 14 days, ever since this iOS 14 update was rolled out, I'm going to show you a couple of numbers first and show you why this update is a lot more serious than I initially thought, why it happened, and most importantly, what it is that you need to be doing. Okay, so in the last 2 weeks, we had to significantly cut down ad spend because a lot of profitable campaigns, and you're going to probably notice this as well, campaigns that was profitable at one point in time is no longer profitable. And in the last 2 weeks here, there's a couple of things that happened. You'll notice that, first of all, my team and I, we had to roll out brand new campaigns because the old campaigns, they weren't profitable anymore. And you're going to notice that the cost per lead and the cost per sale dramatically spiked up. Now, first of all, we got to understand, why is that the case? Okay, here's why. The first thing that I'm going to show you is, if you are an Apple user, you probably noticed this pop-up that happened. It's a very common pop-up, and it's basically, if you install the update, apps is going to ask you permission to track you across the apps and websites owned by other companies. When somebody sees this, first of all, you got to understand that when somebody updates their app or their iOS, most people do not understand the upside of being tracked, and most people see it as a very scary thing. So as a result of this, most people who aren't advertisers, most people who don't understand the benefits of tracking will automatically, without even thinking, like a knee-jerk reaction, will disallow the app and opt not to track rather than allowing tracking. So the first thing that's happening because of the iOS 14 update is a lot of people are just opting out of being tracked. Okay, now what is the significance of this? When people are opting out of being tracked, it just means that your targeting is not going to be that targeted. So for example, a business owner that runs a yoga center wants to run ads on Facebook targeting people who like yoga. And perhaps one of the things that Facebook used to do is it could track people who utilize a yoga app on the Apple Store. And as a direct result of that, this business owner that owned a yoga store could target people that like yoga based on the fact that they utilize this yoga/meditation app. However, the user, most users anyway, not knowing that when they see this, right, the moment something like that pops up, instant reaction is, I don't want to be tracked, right? Most people think, I want to keep my data private. So most people are opting out of this. So what's going to happen is a lot of business owners who rely on getting leads or sales through targeted Facebook ads, they are affected because of this. Again, if you stay till the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you 2 moves that you need to be doing right now in order to combat this, as well as some suggestions that my account manager briefed my team slightly earlier this week in order to combat this. But first, we got to understand why this battle between Facebook and Apple is happening, and why most people, business owners, are going to be a casualty of this war. As a direct result of this, just think about this, okay? So, in fact, something similar has happened in the passed before. If you are an early user of Gmail, okay, and this is relevant because if you understand history, you're going to see why the same thing is happening again. If you're an early Gmail user from, say, about 20 years ago, there was a big thing that happened when Gmail wanted to monetize. It was basically targeted ads based on the emails that people received. So for example, you could get a receipt for booking for a flight, and perhaps, let's say you were booking for a flight to go to, let's say, Bora Bora, or whatever, right? And suddenly you would start seeing hotels at Bora Bora. And this is when users who didn't understand the upside of being tracked would say, you know, Gmail and Google is reading every single piece of my email. There's no privacy now. Big Brother is watching our every step, and our information is being sold. First of all, what Apple wants to do is Apple wants to win this war by being able to get people, and that could be a whole discussion on its own, but let's just say there's the war between Facebook and Apple is that they have got two very different visions altogether. And because people are dropping out of being tracked, because most people don't understand the merit of being tracked, they think that it's an invasion of privacy, and in some cases, it doesn't mean that they're spying on you. It just means that your data is utilized to give you more targeted ads that would, in many ways, increase user experience. But most normal people don't understand that. They think that, oh, it's my data, it's my credit card being pimped out to, you know, to all these other companies. Anyway, so because of that, the same thing is happening right now. So the question is, what do we need to do? So let me just head over to my screen again. So in other words, what we need to do is, first of all, understand how this works and why people are opting out. Just imagine this. A lot of people are opting out. Now, if you are running Facebook ads, what does it mean? The first thing is that there's going to be a huge impact on your conversion and reporting. So if you take a look at my numbers over here, you're going to see that I understand this. There are campaigns where I've spent a couple of hundred, couple of thousand, and there may not necessarily be any results yet. And this is where you got to be patient. Okay, you got to be patient because a lot of numbers are reset. A lot of data is lost. As a result of that, it's kind of like starting from scratch again, and that's part of the process. Okay, that's the first thing to understand. The second thing, okay, so because there's a delayed conversion data, look at this. So Facebook will be replacing the 28-day attribution window for a 7-day window. There is going to be a reporting of delay of about 3 days, and there's a very big difference because now it's not going to be, you know, close to real-time type of reporting. So that's one. Next one is that the audience insight is no longer going to be accessible when it comes to age and gender. There is going to be a limit of 8 conversion event tracking, which I'll talk about, and why this is going to be crucial when it comes to adapting and changing your strategy. In other words, when it comes to this Facebook versus Apple, what we need to do is to understand what are the action steps. Okay, so there are basically, first of all, 2 main action steps that you need to take right now. And then I'll talk about, once you do these 2 action steps, what are some of the suggestions that our personal Facebook account manager told us that I know that will definitely benefit some of you as well. Okay, the first one is this. So it says here, okay, this is direct from Facebook business itself. It says, number 1, main actions for advertisers utilizing web events. First of all, you need to verify your domain in Facebook Ads Manager. Now, how does this work? It's actually super simple. It is as simple as either uploading a simple file on your site to show that you are the owner. The way we did it is by uploading a very simple piece of code on our funnel builder. The one that we utilize is ClickFunnels. You could be utilizing WordPress, it could be Shopify, but the first thing that you gotta do is you gotta verify your domain to show that you are the owner of the domain. That's the first one. Okay, super simple. It's just copy and paste. It's a 1-minute thing. The second thing that you gotta do, and by the way, if you don't know how to do that, just look up the help center inside Facebook that shows you how to do that. The second thing is to set up and prioritize up to 8 web events per domain. it means that you gotta be able to go to your events manager, same thing over here, and you got to be able to create your events. And the reason why you want to do that is because of this change in the iOS drop. You got to be able to set up these events so that you'll be able to track your conversion for the audiences. These are the two things you got to do like right now. It's the most basic things. It's pretty quick, pretty fast. And once you do that, that is when I'm going to show you what it is that my ads manager said. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this conversation and the suggestions that was mentioned. Okay, so first of all, understand that Facebook, if you are affected, understand that Facebook's entire business model is under threat right now. And they are doing whatever it takes to fix this, because can you imagine if your profitability went down like 50%? What it means on Facebook, it means that there's a lot of advertisers that is dropping out as well. And I've always believed in survival of the fittest. You can cry about it, you can whine, you can complain, but guess what? You can choose to do all of that, or you can adapt. Okay, so let's talk about what the suggestions are and what it is that you could be doing. Okay, so first of all, it is to monitor your back-end sales. There is a possibility that people are converting, just that we can't track on campaign level due to the iOS rollout. Okay, so like the first thing like I mentioned, right? So if I were to go back to the campaign over here, this is where you gotta have, patience again. Your data is going to kind of like reset. It's going to start learning again. And it might seem real whack and it seems unprofitable, but you got to understand that data is delayed and that it's going to be part of the process, the first one. Okay, so monitor your back-end sales because it might not be tracked straight away. Number two, and this is huge, okay? Number two is to go broader with your targeting. So focused efforts based on broad targeting rather than retargeting, as your pool for retargeting becomes smaller. Now, this is unfortunately a very sad thing because if you've been watching my channel, I've always said the money is in retargeting. However, so what is retargeting? Retargeting is basically targeting people that has done specific steps in your funnel. So for example, this could be perhaps visited your shopping cart but did not check out. This could be perhaps registering for your webinar but didn't show up, showed up but didn't buy. So retargeting has always been a very, very significant ROI type of campaign. However, because of people opting out, that means that the audience size is going to shrink significantly. I have retargeting campaigns that was once extremely profitable because it took time to build up that audience size. However, it shrunk, 75% because most people are going to opt out because like what Facebook mentions, most people don't understand the merits of having a good user experience by being served targeted ads. Most people think about the moment they see that pop-up of, would you like to share your data? The spontaneous answer is always just no, right? Without understanding, what it means for user experience. So that is Facebook's main argument, but it's a war between Facebook and Apple. So the third thing is complement retargeting with lookalike. Okay, so what does this mean? So he says, so for example, if your ad set retargets website visitors, add a 1 to 2% lookalike of your website visitors to the same ad set, as this will help broaden out your audience. Because retargeting isn't that effective anymore because of the audience size being significantly smaller, this is when you want to complement it with lookalike audiences, 1 to 2 lookalike of your website visitors. So one thing that is not affected is the people that took action on Facebook. Okay, so think about it as if people liked your page or engaged with your post. And by the way, that step is not in here. This is just something that I'm adding in that my team is doing, because that is tracked on the Facebook level and not at the browser level, which is in Apple's power. That audience of people engaging with you, liking your post, following your page, sharing your post, that engaged audience is going to be a lot more important. So put more weightage on that kind of audience right now. Number 4 is utilize your CRM customer list and upload to Ads Manager. So offline audiences are not impacted. So this is where if you have your previous, buyers, your leads, couple of things. Number 4 is you got to do this, okay? So number 4, to combat this next thing, think about how you can first, the most important one is your buyers. Upload all of your buyers, okay? Because offline is not impacted. And after you have uploaded your buyers, what you're going to do is you're going to create a lookalike right? 1% of your buyers, right? So it's gold in, gold out. Because now this would be not affected. The next one, if you don't have a previous buyers list and who they are in order to create lookalike audiences, since retargeting is significantly affected. The next one is to upload all of your previous leads. So it's not as hot, but it's still somewhat targeted that you have accumulated in the past. Same thing here. It's, you know, you put gold in, you get gold out. You put crap in, you get crap out. Then create a lookalike audience. Start off with 1% of your leads. Why? Because this is not affected, because this is considered offline and it does not take place within the app. Okay, so this is what you need to be doing in order to get a targeted audience. So you can see here it says, unfortunately, this is the new normal that we're going to have to get used to as a result of Apple's change in policy. So ultimately, being very transparent, some of the campaigns, they are not going to work like they used to pre-iOS rollout. However, that being said, it's not the end of the world. Here's how to think about this. Here's what I'd like you to remember. Algorithm changes is not a new thing. And if you can think of this game as a survival of the fittest, that's how you win. Because here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is advertisers that don't adapt, that don't utilize these new strategies to be able to combat the shrink in retargeting, the fact that their cost to acquire a lead and a sale is going to increase. Now, what's going to happen? These advertisers, because they're no longer profitable, they're going to stop advertising altogether, because this is what's happening right now. And as a result of that, what do you think is going to happen to the price of ads? It is going to fall as these people drop out, unless Facebook has a fix for this anytime in the near future. So in every moment of crisis, just remember that there is a significant amount of opportunity as well, if you are willing to be on the ball, if you're willing to pivot, if you're willing to adapt. So the question is, how do you adapt? So these methods are some of the ways you can adapt. However, so what does it mean? Focus on omni-channel marketing. So what it is that we're doing right now is, hey, let's take a look at YouTube ads. Now, by the way, YouTube is also impacted a little bit as well, which, by the way, if you want to be able to see what the changes are, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be talking about that in a future video. Okay, so take a look at YouTube, where we're targeting utilizing TikTok ads, focusing on organic Instagram giveaways. Okay, so focus on omni-channel so that you're not putting all eggs in one basket. And that's what you're seeing me do, right? Focus on organic. Literally, I'm creating a YouTube right now that sits on the YouTube platform. You want to be able to run ads on, for you, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Snapchat, it could be TikTok. So focus on omni-channel, and that is another way so that you're not going all in on just one platform. So it actually says here, you know, our response, take a look at Facebook response, okay? It says, we disagree with Apple's approach and solution, yet we have no choice but to show Apple's prompt. If we don't, they will block Facebook from the App Store, which would only further harm businesses and users that rely on our services. We cannot take this risk on behalf of millions of businesses who use our platform globally. Now, take a look at this paragraph here. Just shows you who is winning this war right now. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but I can say that the narrative that Apple is utilizing is, we are here to protect people's privacy, and that's why in the eyes of end consumers, they are the winner, and ultimately business owners and businesses who are utilizing Facebook to run targeted ads, they're going to be on the losing end. And Facebook, they're not just sitting around doing nothing, because their business model is being threatened, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be upcoming major changes happening, because if this is the case, there's going to be a lot of advertisers that is going to be pulling out because they would be bleeding money. So I hope that this video helped you guys. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway is. One of the things that you know is that every video, especially when it comes to Facebook ads, we give away 1 to 3 courses valued at $997. All you got to do is type in run Facebook ads together with your biggest takeaway. Let me know what it is. Be sure to smash the like button. It does help our channel out. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you truly want to get really, really good at Facebook ads, be sure to binge watch this entire playlist that's going to appear in your face in about 5 seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.